I've recently had the opportunity to sit down and chat with some of my mastermind sisters about their experiences of personal growth and transformation within the Charmed Life Mastermind. These conversations were completely unscripted outside of an outline of a few key questions that I asked each of them. It's my intention in sharing their stories that any of you who might be curious or on the fence about joining the mastermind can find a sense of connection in each of their experiences to understand the common struggles and outcomes that we face and work towards inside of our community. Here is one such interview. Enjoy. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I go by Jenn. I do transcription in the evenings, and during the daytime, I do assistant admin work. I live on the beach in Gulf Shores. I'm so blessed to have the best sunsets in the world. And I
How
just love
long have you
it.
been a member of and how long have you been a member of our mastermind?
I've been here since it began.
Yep,
I
you're one of
was
my
one of the
founding
first ones.
members back in 2020 when we started this in, around October, November.
We all
It's
needed
been here
help in
since the beginning.
2020,
Yep.
and this was great.
Great. So, tell me, why did you initially join the mastermind?
I had seen Alexis' videos, and I took the empire building course, and it was just an eye opener of what I could do and how easy it would be to get started at a business. And I was just drawn to the functional planning, the humor she has, and the mission statement. Knowing that you are here for women, for for the self care and productivity in our lives,
Yeah, to
making
really
it
help
easier for us
everyone
to do.
create that best life ever sort of a feeling.
Yes.
Awesome. So, what surprised you about the mastermind once you did get in and got to dig into all the classes and stuff? What was the biggest surprise for you?
The first thing was the amount of free printables we received. We made classes that we have on Saturdays.
Hmm.
They were a lot longer than we thought they would be. They're more involved, and they cover so much in such a short span of time, and it's so helpful. Um, we get to be in Slack and getting the daily messages each day, even if it's not something that you're putting out for us to have. Other people are in it talking, and it's just um, encouragement to see other people's lives going on, and being able to see them helped, and encouraged, and being a part of that.
Yeah, so definitely, I think the Slack is definitely something where it's one of those things that's so easy to overlook, but that those little messages that I put in there are accountability. Even if you're not acting on them, even though if you're not really replying yourself,
Right.
seeing them, it kind of gives you reminders for things to do and things to think about. And then seeing everyone else, when people do respond and what they're saying, it is a sense of accountability, even if you're not necessarily like going in there and writing like, a mini novel of what's going on in your day.
Absolutely.
So I'm so glad. And so with the inserts as well. So you've been pleased by the inserts and the amount of
I have.
awesome.
And you've made some custom inserts that you provided that helped out with certain situations that we were going through too. So
Yeah, that's true. And that's
that's
something I don't really talk about too much outside of the group. But one of the things that I do as part of the mastermind is I will take people's requests, right? So if it's something that people need, I've literally had someone give me a bullet journal, a picture of their bullet journal where they had sketched out like an insert that they had been using. They're like, I would love if this was just a printable insert. And so I made that, right? So when you guys come to me and give me ideas, right? Like by all means, this is you guys helping me create your resources just as much as it's me thinking about how I can, give you guys things that will help you learn. So that's awesome. So I'm really glad. Thank you for mentioning that.
no problem.
um, how has your experience been then with the classes and the resources and tools? Do you use them? How do you see yourself using those?
I It's introduced me to a new way of living, basically. First with productivity and self-care. It's made it achievable. There was a productivity assessment that was given during one of our Saturday courses, and it opened up what I'm spending my time on and what I'm not spending my time on. And it showed that, there's more than 24 hours in a day because I'm not using them the way that I'm supposed to be using them.
Yeah.
And so it made the productivity and self-care achievable instead of being a constant headache or absence, respectively.
Yeah.
So,
and talking about like the different topics of the classes and things, before joining the mastermind, were you someone who was actively like pursuing different personal development topics? I know I go into a lot of different topics that I teach on in those classes. And I know you've mentioned to me before, expressed to me before, but these were like topics maybe you would never have normally looked into. It
yeah.
wouldn't have been. So were you someone in the past who was normally getting, doing this sort of self-education, ongoing education?
Now I was trying goals, and I was trying budgeting and different things like that, but I wasn't getting the answers that I needed. I wasn't getting the like some way to point where I need to be and where I need to be going. And then I also there's manifestation. And I've never done that before because, I thought it was woo-woo. I thought it was, something that I couldn't do. But you have a phrase that involves God in with what we're doing. And I was like, okay, I can just put that in my prayers. I can use the way that manifestation works in my prayers because it's the same thing. I'm talking to my God, and I'm talking to what I would be talking to him about. So it was great to have a different relationship with him and how I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, and that's something we've talked about before is that, and a few people within the group have expressed this to me as well, which is that, if you were new to the idea of manifesting, or if you had it kind of compartmentalized, that wasn't something that was for me. The way that I present the topic of manifestation is, coming from someone who was a good look. I went to Catholic school, y'all. Like, I was a good little Catholic school girl, and so how do I, rectify these kind of metaphysical beliefs with my religious upbringing? I really see them as it's me praying to God, right? It's how you want to think about it. If the idea of praying to a God is not for you, then can you talk to the universe? Can you talk to spirit or the greater good, right? But if it is something that resonates with you on that more religious level, I try to make sure that this stuff is relatable in a lot of different ways, because for me, I find that these things are, just kind of like absolute truths of life, right? So for me, it's like the existence of something bigger that helps guide our life and wants the best for us, right? That is an absolute truth to me. And if you're a Christian, it's likely an absolute truth to you. And if you're a Jew as well, or a Muslim, or anyone else who practices a religion, right, who believes in something greater, these principles are derived from, our religious texts in so many ways. So it's not something you have to be afraid of if you're coming from a religious background. And it's also not something that has to be tied to religion either, right? So
Right.
the way I talk about it,
It's
like
all
you said,
inclusive the way it's
it
the way
is
you
all
handle it.
inclusive. God, spirit, the universe, whatever you think is out there that's bigger than you, right? Mother Earth.
Yeah.
I believe there is, it's a non-negotiable. There is a power that is seeing us through in some way or another. What that is, I don't think there's a man on earth who has 100% definitive proof about what it is. So, or a woman,
Yeah.
right? We don't have definitive proof. So we think about it in whatever concept works for us and touches like our hearts.
Right.
So that's awesome. And so speaking of manifestations, what wins have you been having during your time as a member that you account, or you attribute to the information, atmosphere, or the support of the group?
When we first got started, 2020 was hard for everybody. And I have, at the beginning of the year, the way my job works, January through March is very slim in hours. And so 2020 had already eat up my savings, and I was freaking out just a little bit. And so once manifestation came up in the topics, I was like, let me see how I can do this. And so Alexis sends out these through Slack. She sends midweek affirmations. And so I got a few of those, and I would put one for each day of the week. And in the mornings, I would say them with breath work, repeat them 3 times out loud. Out loud is important. It's got to be out
It
loud.
is out.
You
It
don't
really
believe
works
it if
better if
it's
you do
not
it out
loud.
loud.
Yes. And so, and when you're having a conversation with somebody, like I'm having a conversation with God, he can hear it if I'm speaking out loud. And I know that he can hear it if I'm speaking out loud. So I went January and February, I was going through these affirmations each day, making sure that, I was sticking to what the plan was. And so one of them, my favorite one was, I am a money magnet. And then by the end of February, I had income from 2 sources that were completely opposite ends of my life in different areas of my life. I had money come in that covered what I needed to be covered at that point. And it was so shocking that what I had been doing actually worked. It came through it. It was so amazing.
Yeah, and
And
I
I'm
remember
just
when that first started
thankful.
happening to you and you messaged me on Slack and you're like, guess what? It worked. I needed money and now I have 2 new sources of money coming into my life. Like, how is this happening? Like, I wasn't sure how I was going to make it through the day. And now all of my needs are being met, which was one of the, which was one of the principles in that manifestation class that I taught about
Mm-hmm.
setting your energetic minimum, being very clear on how much money you needed. And you're saying, look,
Yep.
I'm a money magnet. I deserve wealth. I am a smart, strong, capable woman, like all of the
Yep.
affirmations. And then, but that wasn't the only thing that happened, because you dipped your toe in and then you decided to take a swim in the pool too, right? Like, you went
I did.
even further. So tell us a little bit more about how you went further with that.
Well, this past year, yeah, this like within the last like in October of last year,
Okay.
something with my job, I got 2 raises in 1 year.
That's right. You manifested more money.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
was because we always get a raise each year, and then I was like, okay, I just need a little bit more, and since I'm not getting as many hours, if I can get this much, then I could be okay. And I was like $1 off, but it was coming in, and I got that raise, and we got a bonus.
Yeah, so
So
you
okay.
manifested 2 increases. One that was
Yes.
expected and then one was just a
Extra
bonus during
bonus.
COVID. So many people will say you got a bonus during COVID. Like,
Yes. It was crazy. It
right?
was really, really nice. So
Yeah, so
I
you were
was,
learning to manifest. So is this something you're continuing to do now? This is part
oh
of your
yes.
practices and
Yes, it's one of those things. I pick a sentence to use each day, and during the daytime I'll say it out loud. I go into my car, getting in my car, when I stop at red lights, when I need to yell at people on the road because they're going too slow. Everything is just you keep it on your mind, and the next day you start on the next one,
yeah.
and you never know what's going to be coming up. So it's nice.
Yeah.
it's,
No, and then what I love
it's
about the way you're doing it, Jen, is that it's so like innocent and authentic. Like, you didn't know what it was going to bring. You're like, I'll try this, like with an open heart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so you gave it a try and you saw that it worked. And not only did you didn't just give it a try, you came up with your own methodical way to do it, which was not how I had necessarily taught you.
Yeah.
You came up with in your own heart a way that worked for you, something that worked for you, which,
Yeah.
out of all the things, I can teach you guys strategies left and right. But the big thing I tell you is take what I teach you and turn it into your own strategy that works for you. And that's what you did. And then you saw results. And then you're like, I want to keep doing this, and saw more results. And the best thing is now is you've actually gotten into the energy of expectancy. You now
Mm-hmm.
expect that more money is going to be flowing to you constantly because you're like, I'm still doing my affirmations, right? So it's
Yes.
literally just going to keep being like, step, 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 just more. You're just taking like steps and steps and steps to like abundance and success, which I think is so amazing. I really,
Yes.
truly think that's such a great testament to like these things can work. You just have to make them work for you, right? In the way that
You do.
works in your life. So then let's wrap this up. What would you tell someone who was on the fence about joining the mastermind?
I would say if you are unorganized, if you're tired, if you don't think there's 12 hours in a day, if you don't think there's 24 hours in a day, try it for 2 months. You have 2 first Saturday classes to go through. So the camaraderie on Zoom meetings, you don't have to have your picture up there if you don't think you look okay. You can blur out your black background, which is amazing to me. And you can communicate with these ladies. They're going through the same things that I am. They're business owners, they're writers, they're amazing women, and they're going through the same little bitty things. There's no self-care. Once we get busy, for some reason, we forget about ourselves. We don't take the time, we don't take the energy to do that. The productivity on our work, we skip things, or we forget to do the important things. Or if it's something hard that we've got to get done so we can keep going with our business or our jobs, we kind of put it to the side. But with the Slack channel that is used, there's daily reminders of things that we can do. Alexis has a list of goals that we are doing each week. She reminds us. It also gives us a list of what everybody else is trying to accomplish during the week. And that way we can be your cheerleaders also. I mean, it's nice to be able to help other people win. It's nice to win, but it's even better to watch other people succeed and get through the problems that they're going through. Slack channel also gives us a day. One of the days she asks us about being what we're grateful for. And sometimes when you are swamped, when you are tired, you're hungry because it's not lunchtime yet, and you know it's going to be lunchtime, you didn't bring something you really want to eat, and you get that little pop-up and it says, what are you grateful for today? You got to stop, pause, and go, oh, okay, we can do this, we got this, and you just restart. It's a refresh. It's a great community to be in, and try it. 2 months.
Jen, that's like amazing advice. Like, I like what you're saying there with so much that you just said there. I want to recap. So like give it a try for 2 months. I think that's great advice, especially since I do give people the option to, you can invest in the annual membership, or you could buy month to month if you just want to try it out. Right. And so many people come and they don't realize that like the month to month option, it gives you the ability to try it for a month. And if it's not for you, you can walk away. Right. We're totally good with that. But I like how you said 2 months, because it's very often we sign up for something and then we run away, right?
Yeah.
But if you can commit to spending 60 days in there, I think you're right that people will see the value in all of the different experiences we have. And then once you
it gives you time.
Yeah.
It also gives you time that, okay, you're really gung-ho for 2 weeks, and then it's like, okay, I got to get back to life or whatever. But then you still getting those pop-ups from Slack, and that next month you can get back into what's going on, and you know, it keeps you involved.
Yeah, it does keep you involved, because I think it's so easy for us to like sign up for something like this and then run away. Or like you said, you have that burst of like maybe a week or two where you're really involved, and then you get back to the real world and that ties you up for a few weeks, and then you think, oh well, I didn't use this. But no, if you commit to a certain period of time with it, I do believe that number one, you've got that, it's almost like an umbrella of support that's kind of, or not like a trampoline, what is that word? You know, underneath the people who do the in the air, I can't think of words, but you safety net. It's like a safety net. Trapeze, that's it. It's a safety net of the community and the reminders that, yeah, there are times where some of us go, not me, of course, because I got to be there, but some of us go MIA for a little while, and then we come back and we say, hey, I just went through a whole thing, but I'm out of it, and I want to process it with you guys. I want to be there. And I love what you said about, it's not just you want to see yourself win, but you also want to see everyone else win. And I think that really speaks to like the heart of service, right? So many women love to be of service to other people. And so that's one of the things about being in a community, is it's not just about taking, it's also about giving. And that's how I've, structured the mastermind. A mastermind means we're all equal. We're all around. We all have a seat at the table, and we all need to bring things. And we can all take things as well. You know what I mean? So, I'm thinking of like King Arthur, right? And the round table, Knights of the Round Table, right? But girls, right? But ladies, but women, smart, strong, capable women who are prepared to get shit done. So Jen, thank you so much. That was an amazing just like an amazing recommendation. I think you're absolutely right. And so just to remind people, you do have the ability to go monthly. And then if you are happy with it, you can continue just paying monthly, or you can invest in the full year and get the bonuses and things like that. And, you know, for some people, they find that that is the better value, whatever works for you. But yeah, give it a
Yes.
try and commit, because you're only going to get out of it what you put in, right?
Yes.
And that's where the true value lies. So thank you so much, Jenn, for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.